Hey everybody, it's Brooke. Guess what I got into? If you'd like to have some messy fun, stick around. Okay, I hope everyone is doing well. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you are not new here, welcome back. You know you guys rule. I had an idea about starting a new project, and I was in need of Painty Papers for this project. I went poking around through my stuff. I had some gel prints, and I don't know. I guess I felt like making a mess, so I did. I have been making these super fun Magicals backgrounds. These are just a few. You can see even the paper towel is good, right? That's just a few of the ones I've been making. And what I'm using are these Lindy's Magicals powders. You can use watercolors for most of the techniques. I don't have any Brushos, but I'm assuming you could use those for quite a few of them. But Lindy's are super sparkly. They have tons of mica in them. Some of them are kind of two-tone. They're just fabulous. You could do so much with them. So that's what they look like. And I will try to remember to tell you what colors I'm using as we go along. And we do have a glare. Sorry. I'm using my Tim Holtz glass mat again, and it's almost impossible to get it so there's no glare at all. I taped off the black part with my craft mat, hoping that that would help some. Now I've got a bunch in it. There we go. Better. Okay, so what I have done is I have cut down some watercolor paper to be, I think they're 6 by 4.5. Just cutting El Cheapo watercolor paper into quarters is what I did. Nothing very exciting. And I would like to try to make some, I haven't done a whole lot of, what do I want to do? Maybe some yellow and blue together. I'm digging the sparkle, first because I have not been playing with these for quite some time, but secondly, because here in Maine in February, it's dark and dreary and cold, and bright colors and sparkle make me feel better. So what I'm going to do is take my spray bottle, spray a little water on my mat, and I'm doing it on the white part because it's easier to see the colors. And I think I'll take a little Blingy blonde, and I put the water down first so that the powder can stick to the water and not go flying. You don't need a lot, just using the tip of a palette knife to put in a little bit. And I do immediately wipe off the palette knife because this stuff is so pigmented. One little grain gets somewhere and you're going to have that color everywhere. So even I try to clean up after myself as I go. And I don't know if you guys can see how cool that looks. I'm going to take a picture with my phone. I will stick that in right here so you can see. But you can see the mica floating to the top, and then all these different colors. There's green and blue, and it looks like a little bit of orange. It's just beautiful. So I'm going to take my brush and mix this up. Looks very green to be yellow, but you never know. Okay, I've got that all mixed up. And now I'm going to take Pineapple Paradise, and I do have a bucket of water right over there. It's one of the divided buckets, so I'm rinsing really well in one, and then before I go into another color, I'm dipping it in the clear water to make sure I'm not contaminating any of the colors. This one is called Pineapple Paradise, and it is a flat, which means it does not have the mica. So we'll put a little bit of that down. Using my palette knife, just scooping up a little bit. You don't need a ton. As I said, it's so pigmented. Let's put this down. I always try to put the tops right back on because if you spill it, you're going to be sad. You will have color for days. Okay, let's mix that one up. The Pineapple Paradise. Ooh, that's a beautiful yellow. And then I think I might want to do some Sassy Sapphire. That sounds fun. This one is also a sparkly one. Let's put down our water. I've watched a million videos. I can't even begin to tell you which video I saw these techniques in because I've watched a ton. But if you just search Lindy's Magicals in YouTube, you will find tons of techniques because they really are super versatile. And they last forever. I've had some of mine for, gosh, before the road show, so that, oh, my hands are so stained. Sorry, I've been playing. If it was before the road show, that means they are 5.5 years old, and I still haven't used them up. So they go a long way. Okay, what I'm going to do is just use my fingers. You can use a paintbrush if you prefer. I don't mind stained fingers, obviously. And I'm going to smoosh them out like that. And I'm just going to take one of the pieces of watercolor paper, give it a little spray, and dunk it right in there like you were using distress products. Dunk it around. Oh, look at that. That's pretty. That is so pretty. Now I'm going to dry that for a second. And I'm going to pause the video because apparently my mic is not muting that sound. Be right back. Wow. Loving it. I did not dry it all the way. You can see that drip is still a little wet. I don't know if the camera will pick up the sparkle, but the shimmer in there is amazing. Doesn't that scream spring? That makes me happy. So I'm going to just dab off a little bit of this just to finish drying it some. And I think I would like to pick up some of this, so I'm going to go right in there. I'm not opposed to white space, but, you know, we don't want to waste it. And just let that drip, so I'm just tapping it. See it moving? Very much like watercolor, but with the sparkle, it's amazing. Might give it a little water spritz, see if we can get that traveling. Now, these are not permanent, they are dye-based, so they will react with water, which is just fine for our purposes. Because I'm going to be using them in some collaging, what I'm going to do is I'll scan them all and probably use the printed copies for my collaging. That way I don't have to worry about it running. But the originals will go to good use for something also. So can you see what the water did? See how we got that fun running place and little splatters up there? Very cool. So I'm going to dry this again. Hold on. Okay, so this is mostly dry. I'm just going to set that aside for a minute and take out another card. Because we have all this, I don't want to waste it. I'm going to do some stamping. I haven't tried it with the wooden stamp yet, but I think this is so pretty. Let's go ahead and give that a shot. Clunk, clunk, clunk. I don't know, being wooden, if it's going to work, but I'll just kind of smoosh that around in there. Let's see if we can get an impression. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? Give that a good rub, let it sit for a minute. Oh, a little bit up there, cool. I'm gonna wipe this off. And again, it's the same thing. This is so pigmented, you want to make sure you're wiping your tools off because you will end up mixing colors like mad when perhaps you did not intend to. So let's see what happens with this. Put that down. Oh, I went off the edge a little bit. Okay, that'll be fine. And the shimmer is just beautiful. That's it for a second. Walk my fingers around on it. Nope, not so much down there. But that's okay, because we'll try a different stamp. How about this one? It's like little bubble wrap. I'm going to wipe that off, because I'm not sure I did last time. I did. Yay. So let's put a little of that down there. This might just not be juicy enough. Put some over here. Now I'm thinking that we don't have enough water left in our magicals. I could try to reconstitute it with some water, but I think I want to do a different color anyway. There we go. Mix that up. All right, I'll try a little more water before we wipe it up. It's getting very light. Want some yellow. There we go. Fun. Now what we can do, after we wipe off our stamp, is spray that with a little water and let it travel around. Where? Oh, there it is. So let's see what happens if we do that. Not putting a ton on. And there it goes. It's reacting. Can you see it kind of wicking out? Very delicate and soft and springy. So we'll come back to this one after it dries. I think I'll blot up a little bit of the water. Don't want it to run off the page. And I think I will go ahead and wipe this up. Pardon me. Because it's getting very diluted. Keep putting my water bottle in funny places. There we go. Once again, my desk is covered with stuff. I pulled out everything to make Painty Papers. And then got distracted by the magicals. And this one is coming out beautifully. Look at that. Whoa, pretty. Okay. So there's that. And now we can try. Oh, I better wipe off this stamp too, huh? Okay. Now let's try a little bit of painting with them. And again, I think I want to use, what do I want to use? Maybe some Hydrangea Blue. I had a palette out because you can mix it in a palette, just spray some water into the well and put in some powder, but I don't know what I did with it because we got a mess. So here is some Hydrangea Blue. Doesn't look very hydrangea in there, does it? Oops, I missed. Beautiful. Look at that color develop. Super fun. So there's that one. Wipe off this palette knight. And let's use Pineapple Paradise. This one's Pineapple Paradise. Now, I may be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that our friend Michelle at Your Crafting Source is able to get magicals if you're interested in getting any. They're super fun. They're very affordable. I think a tube of 5 is maybe $11 or something, but they go a long, long way. Okay, so let's grab our brush, rinsing it in my clear water just to make sure it's clear. Mix up our yellow. Get those little lumps out as best I can. Rinsing my brush again. That hydrangea is beautiful. Okay, now we can paint this on the card. So I'll take our card, put a good amount of water on it, and I'm going to paint the Hydrangea Blue down here. Kind of give it a tip, let it start moving. Ooh, that's such a pretty color. That looks like a summer sky, doesn't it? It'll be summer soon, I just know it. Okay, I'm going to rinse my brush. Oh, I had some yellow on my finger. Can you see what happened? I got a yellow splotch, but that is just fine. I am cool with that. Now I'm going in with that Pineapple Paradise. That looks cool. It's like a little rainbow. I'm going to touch those together and let them start mixing, very much like watercolor. You guys just can't see this amazing shimmer. Again, I'll put the pictures up so you can see. And I'm just going to tip it a little bit and let those colors kind of blend together. Gotta be a little patient on this one, just a little. And you know what I think I want to do is put in some Mango Mania up at the top. Let me wipe this off. This is this beautiful orange color. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's a flat. Yeah, that one's a flat. I want to put a little water down here. Oh, and I can see, can you guys see in there? Some blue powder got in there, so let's wipe that up and try again so we get a pure orange. I'll just put a little bit in there. And I just want to have an edge at the top of that. Gosh, I keep missing. I'm missing my little pile. Let's go ahead and cap this up, and I'll wipe off my palette knife. The experimenting with this is so much fun, and the looks you get can be so very different. So I'll get out my brush, dip it in the clear water, mix this up. Oh, I'm creeping off, sorry. Creeping out of sight. I think I'd like a little more water in there. It looks like our paper is still pretty wet. I might spray across the top. Pretty soaked. Then I'm just going to run that across the top. Ooh, pretty. These bright colors and sparkle definitely are lifting my mood already. So then we'll tap it this way a little bit. Try to get it going a little bit further. Come on, Mango. Keep dripping. Maybe I'll give it one more spray. What the heck? What could possibly go wrong? Look how the yellow's traveling down into the blue, and we're getting some beautiful greens. Very nice. Okay, I'm going to pause you guys and dry this. Be right back. Don't move. Okay, this is not completely dry, but it's drier in some places than others. And hopefully that will affect how it takes the water droplets. So let's see how that goes. Put some big splots down. Trying to get those bigger ones sort of evenly distributed. Then we'll turn it a little bit this way. Give it a lighter spray. And grab a paper towel. Oh, and can you see how it's blooming down in here? That's so pretty. So pretty. I don't think I want to soak up all the water. I think I'll soak up this one. And we'll get that kind of splotchy look. Ooh, there's some beautiful areas in here. Now you do have to remember, going back on this, it is water reactive. So if you put some sort of wet media on top, it's going to react with your magicals. So that is something to keep in mind. Ooh, that's pretty. I've got a lot of soup going on here. Let's clean that up. Okay, so I think I'm going to dry this one more time. Hold on. I wish you guys could see how shimmery this is in person. Just beautiful. Look at how this all... Oh, right there. You almost got it. Right there down in the blue. Now I guess you're just seeing a little bit of the damp water. But we got these beautiful effects, and I love that splotch up there and that one there. So we've got some really cool areas going on in here. Now let's do a little stamping on it, shall we? I have these Paper Artsy stamps. Let's see. These are Paper Artsy Eclectic stamps. It is this one, Eclectica EEVO2. Love these stamps. They're a little spendy, but I use them a lot. So let's see if we can go in with our little scribbly circle. Maybe do a little more water in there. Get that stirred up. See if we can get some of that orange into the yellow. So I'm just going to dip my stamp in there. See if we can get some down here. Ooh, nice. Now it is going to be, you know, kind of watery because this is a very watery medium, but it looks pretty cool. We can get the whole thing in there. Put that down there. Give it a good press. Oh, look at that one. That one came out great. I don't know. Maybe the yellow will show up in the yellow. We could give it a try. Oh, here's my wet one, buried in the pile. So we'll try that. Oh, it looks like that's going to need a little more water too. So you can reconstitute them just like you would watercolors. We're getting a little green going on down there, but that is a-okay. Yelling spring. Whee! Nice. Now what if we do something different with the blue? What if we do some of these little, I don't know what they are. I think these are an old Tim Holtz set. They're loose in my drawer, so I can't tell you for sure. I'm sorry. But it's just like little dot textures. So I'm wiping off the one we just used. Let's get a little more water mixed up in there. We'll try some of that dark blue. Guess it's not dark blue, it's Hydrangea Blue. Let's see if we can pick up some of those dots. I'm going to go off the page a little bit. Nice. Off the page a little bit there. Just going to wipe up real quickly because as you can see, I'm making a mess everywhere. This is definitely a messy sort of project. So much fun though. Then we'll do some over here. Maybe one more down here. Nice. Whoop. All the paper towels are sticking to me. Why is that? Let's wipe off this stamp so we don't forget. Okay, so we got that all done. Should we hit it with a little water and see if we can get those to run? That sounds kind of fun. Just a sprinkle. And see them start to wick out. I just can't stop with the water. You guys know that about me. I have to try a little more, a little more. Okay, let me go ahead and blot this. We'll pick up some of it. Now this, you could certainly stop right here. It would make a super cool journaling card, or if you make greeting cards, it would make a great card background. Again, Painty Papers for collaging. There's so much you could do with this, but it would also be super fun to go in with your gel pens or your Posca pens and do some doodling in there, which is probably what I will do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and dry one more time. Hold on. Well, since we have all these beautiful colors out, I thought we should go ahead and use those up. And I have these pieces of watercolor, same size, that I just put texture paste on through some stencils. Here's one that's dots. And you can see I had one little grain of some blue color magical on my palette knife. So we got a little blue going on there. And then this is a Tim Holtz Roses or something. Hopefully you can see that. I'll look these up and link them down below. So then we can just watercolor again. Or you can spray and put the colors down with your paintbrush or with a palette knife. Sprinkle it in, kind of whatever you want to do. See if we can get any more up from here. I think I've got it spread so thin we won't get a lot more. Running out of yellow. Put some down here. And you can paint with them just like you would with watercolors. Let's pick up a little orange. Oh, I didn't want to put the orange down yet, because when that mixes with blue, it might go crazy. Well, we'll just dry it some before we put the blue on. And those sparkles just look beautiful. And you see how they're kind of staining the, not the embossing powder, the modeling paste. I'm going to take my paper towel again and blot that, and it starts bringing the color off the modeling paste so it stands out more. Can you guys see that? How awesome that looks? So let's go ahead and I'm going to spray the water right on the card. What if we put some pink in there? I know I said I was off pink for a while, but I do love pink and orange together. So this one is Hibiscus Rose. It's also a flat. I had another one out that was not flat. What if I wanted a sparkly one? Did I misplace it? Quite possibly. High Maintenance Magenta. That's the one I want. This set is called Drop Dead Diva. Might be the one I've had the longest. There we go. Let's use that one. See what happens. So this is High Maintenance Magenta. Scoop it in there. Just throwing a little bit down. I'm gonna wipe off my palette knife. Because we might go back for some more orange. Who knows? Who can say? Oh, look at it go. Then we can kind of tip it around. And yes, my fingers are getting very dyed. And I am okay with that. You can go in there with your fingers if you want to, or a brush. Get this one out of the way. Gonna sop up a little bit of that dripping at the bottom. I think I'm gonna go in there because we got kind of a big glob there. Oh, there we go. Now we're talking. Nice. Okay, let's mix up. Let's wipe up some of this that's going everywhere. Okay, I'm going to dry again, and then I think we'll go back in with some orange right in there. And yep, I got some blue up there. Do I care? Nope, I don't. Be right back. Ooh, look how pretty this is getting. The ink kind of pools around the modeling paste, stains it a little bit darker, then it's a little bit lighter. The texture is amazing. And again, there's that shimmer. Gosh, I wish you guys could see it better. But I'm just loving that. But I did lose almost all of my orange. So I think I'm going to go in and try to paint that back on. We used Mango Mania, didn't we? Okay, let's put a little bit back where we had it. I don't think it's going to be concentrated enough right where it is. So we'll just put a little bit back in there. Oop, wrong lid. I guess I've skipped spraying altogether and gone for the summer vibe, huh? Okay. Spray a little water in there. And I think what I want to do is go in with some clean water and kind of paint right through there where I want the orange to come back. And we'll see if we can get it to just kind of lay in there a little bit. The rest of the card is still damp, so hopefully it'll kind of blend and do its thing and not look like an afterthought. Ooh, look where it's mixing with the pink there. Pretty, that is pretty. I'm going to do the same thing down at the bottom. Where we had a little orange before. Pick that up. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that makes me happy. That makes me happy. Carry it down there. Maybe go over that blue a little so it's not so screaming loud. Now, the next really fun thing to do with these is to, as I said, let them dry. And then you can go in with your Poscas or your gel pens or all of the above and do some doodling on them. But what you need to do first is to seal them, because, as I said repeatedly, they are water reactive. So I'm going to set this one aside to dry, and we'll pull out one that I did a while ago. I've got this. Oh, let me clean up this mess, because, you know, it's going to get everywhere. That's just how I am. This paper towel could use some more color on it. And it will just clean up with water. Squeaky clean, that's important. Get all those little bits of pigment up, or they will haunt you. Okay, and your backs do end up looking like that, and that's no problem. Okay, so this is one I did a while ago, so it should be all the way dry. More stamps, more spraying. I actually went even further into the depths of my mixed media closet for this one and pulled out some Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist in Golden Coin. And that's what that overall shimmer is. It's just gorgeous. I think you can see that a little better. Because quite a few of the magicals that I used were flat, so I just threw that Tattered Angels on top. Did the water splattering and everything. But what we're going to do with this is grab our Distress Micro Glaze, if we can find it, in our drawer full of everything. There we go. Just need a handle. Sorry guys, not prepared. Story of my life, right? So I've got my little handle, got my Tim Holtz Distress Micro Glaze. And this will actually seal it. I keep my dome foam in the glaze so I don't lose it. So I'll just pick that up and just rub it right on. See how the color's getting brighter? This is almost a waxy kind of finish, but it evaporates. It doesn't take very long to evaporate. And then you have sealed this up, which is awesome. And you can go in and play with your pens and your Posca markers or whatever you want to play with, and it will not reactivate your magicals. So I just make sure I hit the whole thing. And you can see in person, the colors get kind of more vibrant and brighter, so that's really nice. You can tell where you've been. A little bit more down this edge. And you can see what happened here. I used one of those rubber stamps and had not cleaned it. That's where the blue and the green came from. Whoopsie, but I still love how this one came out. Okay, so that should be all sealed. I can set that aside and go do some doodling on it later. So I'll put my lid back on here. That's a little dirty. I think I'll just wipe it off on my paper towel. Doesn't seem to be coming off at all, so I think we're in business. And now that guy is all sealed and ready to go. And I have one more thing to show you that's also really fun. And then I'm going to go off and doodle on all these beautiful papers. Very excited. Okay, we'll put that one aside. Clear a space here on the monster desk. Getting out the big shot. Barely room for the big shot, I gotta tell you. So I have my platform here. I have both of the, oops, what did I do? Whoopsie, that's backwards. I'm down to just the straight platform. I have both leaves pulled up, putting it in my machine. Let me scoot that over, hopefully you can see it. Okay, and what I am using, if I can find it, where did I put it? Oh, you guys, the mess. The mess has gotten insane. Oh, it went flying on the other side of the room. Okay, hold on, be right back. I chased it down. Here it is. It is my Tim Holtz 3D Texture Fades, and the product number, I don't know if you can see that, let me move this, is 663296. It's just beautiful. So I'm going to use that one. And here it is. So this is the debossed part. This is the part with the valleys in it. This is the part with the mountains. So I'm going to take this and take a dry paintbrush. Where's my fan brush? We can use our fan brush. And I think I'm going to go for an orange and yellow again. There are a couple ways you can do this, but this is the way I like to do it. So I'm going to take my powder, see if my fan brush will fit in there. Not even close. Okay, finding a different brush. Let's see if my little, my very, very old Jane Davenport mermaid brush will go. And it will. So I'm just going into that Magical Mango, and I'm going to brush that on fairly liberally. It may look like I'm using a lot, but it really, this stuff is so concentrated that I'm not using much. Not much comes out every time. So I've got that beautiful orange, And I think I'm going to go back to Blingy Blonde. Put that in there. Wipe off my brush, not getting it wet, making sure to get all that extra pigment off. Let's put this back on. Because the Mania is flat, I think I'm going to use the Blingy Blonde to get some sparkle in there. Because I seem to be on a roll. I'm on a sparkly roll. I'm just going to get that worked right in as well. Overlapping. Maybe put some of that over there. Okay, brush off that excess. Wasn't much excess on there. Okay, now there are two things that you could do. You can either just go ahead and put your cardstock through, which I think I will do. Oop, that's a little gluey bit. Let's get that off. Okay, put my cardstock in there. I guess I cut my card a little wider than the embossing folder, but we can trim off the edges if they bother us. I'm going to put that on my platform, put one plate on top, and I'm going to go ahead and roll it through a couple times to make sure we're really getting that powder pressed into the paper. Maybe one more time. What the heck? Okay. Move this out of the way. Ooh, okay. Set this up so it's out of our way a little bit. Running out of places to put things. It's going to have to hang out on the corner with us. Okay. So then you pull this out and you say, oh, okay then. Can you see a little bit of color, a little bit of sparkle? I'm going to set this aside for right now. Get out my trusty water gun. Look at that. Look at that just come to life. And you can decide how much water you want or don't want. But look at that. Oop, getting some flinging. Can you see all the different colors that are coming up in that Blingy Blonde? There's green and yellow and pink. And then in the orange, the flat, you're getting some red, some more orange. Just beautiful. I think I want to give it one more spritz. I mean, you can go crazy and get it really wet, whatever you want to do. But I think I want to leave mine like this because I like the speckles. So I am going to wipe this up. There we go. Just a little bit of excess. And set that aside to dry. Try to get some of this extra pigment up. And then we have our folder that we just used. And we can get another background out of that. Just going to spray that with water. Put another card in there. I cut like 4 cards up and just stacked them right there so I could grab them when I was doing my mad experiments. My mad sciencing. Okay, get this back over here. Put it on our platform. Trying to not cause a craft-a-lance, you see. Put that through twice. Why not? Get a good impression. Well, 3 times for luck. What the heck? Okay. Pull that out. Okay, wait for it, you guys. Wait for it. Voila! Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Mm-hmm. Loving it, loving it, loving it. I want to make sure to very carefully wipe my platform. I'm going to take this to the sink and spray it to make sure to get all that dye out of there. It certainly won't damage it or anything else, but I want to make sure that none of those pigment crystals are hiding in there for the next time I use it. So I will take that to the sink and wash it off. Let's try to get this out of the way and take a closer look at this rascal. Oh, look at that. Now we can spray that with some water. Get a little more movement if we want to. we wanted some more yellow in there, we could go in there and why don't we put in some Pineapple Paradise? Rumor has it that if you are terribly skilled, you could put this paper when it's dry back into your embossing folder, line it up the same way, and re-emboss it to get those lines a little crisper. I am unable to do that. That is not in my skill set, so I try not to get it too terribly wet because I don't want all the embossing to mash away. It's just how I do it. So I just put a little bit more of that Pineapple Paradise on there. I'm going to wash off my palette knife so I don't forget. And then we can just give that a little spritz. And off it goes. Can you see it moving? Now, some of what you're seeing is the shine from the water, but some of what you're seeing actually is the mica powder. And that's just going on its own, looking good. I'm going to dry this real quick, and I'll come right back. Hold on. And here it is, pretty much all dry. Isn't that beautiful? Look at all the texture. Look at all the little spots of color. I just think that is so gorgeous. Got a little bit of blue in here, a little bit of blue down there. Well, I love it. As I said, the paper was a little wider than the embossing folder, so I could cut that off or leave it. I don't think it matters. But that is a super fun background and a super fun painty paper. So I'm going to try, well, I'm going to doodle on them first, and then I'm going to give it a shot for scanning them to see if I can use, if I don't have to use the originals, I'd rather use a flat copy paper, painty paper that's not water reactive. Wow, did that make any sense? I think you know what I mean. But anyway, so this was super fun. Thanks for coming along, you guys. If you have some magicals or some watercolors, give it a try. Just get them out and play with them. They are so much fun. You can do so many different things with them. I'm sure there are another 50 things you could do. But this is what I did today. It was super fun. Give it a shot. Thanks so much for stopping by, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.